It's as we see in the chat, it's pickleback day in America. Video games are here. I still have the flashback. You know what? Let's just do this. I last week I wasn't here. I was at GDC, um, and so we didn't have a stream, and I didn't think about the stream at all, really, with the exception of maybe I should do one at the show, but I didn't. I didn't do it at all, and so I didn't think about it, which leads me to point this out right here. See, Flashback 64, because 2 weeks ago, Gooey and McKenna from Flashback 64, a fine podcast and group of folks hosted on the Soundstone network. They were on my show and we had a wonderful chat. And that video is on demand because the people demand it over at YouTube. But the reason I'm talking about this right now is I was going to talk about Soundstone. Anyway, we got Kirby Conversation, we got Pixels and Polygons, we got great folks over there. And this show is part of that network. But I'm talking about it because I forgot to take down the icon. But you know what? Why take down the icon? Because we love Flashback 64. They are awesome. So there you go. Yeah, Pickleback sells out stadiums. That's why people hate on them. That's right. That is so true. I don't actually know what's in a pickleback. I'm going to tell you right now. I've been talking about that it's Pickleback Day in America. Thanks to Catface Faces for ruining my afternoon with the concept. But I don't really know what's in them. But I assume it's just about as good as a Spindrift, the official sponsors of Instruction Derby. And thank you so much to the good people at Spindrift. One day maybe we can meet, and the business terms can be agreed upon that I'm looking for. I'm not asking for much. Just a couple $1,000 per stream, I think seems fair to me. But in the meantime, what I lack in wealth, I can make up for in health by drinking Tropical Lemonade Spindrift. Come on my show, CEO of Spindrift. Answer our questions. The people demand it. We've got also good news in the chat. You've come for it's great to see you, and I apologize in advance for the show. Darren Hupke is here. Hello, Darren Hupke. In chat, by the way, from the aforementioned Pixels and Polygons. So we got some good folks in here. DevPods GG. It is so good to see you as always. Again, Catface Faces, you're also here. So we've got a lot of folks, largely great in the chat, and we're going to read about some video game manuals. But before we do that, I want to say one thing about GDC. So I went to GDC last week. From Monday through Thursday. The show floor is open Wednesday through Friday. I was there for some meetings and all that stuff, largely for work. I went for work. But I also got to have a lot of, just me time to talk with people, to see people. And I've been going to GDC now for, on and off for 10 years, basically. Either going into the show floor or just being able to be around GDC. And this year was the year that I felt like, for me, a lot of things came together. Lots of folks that I know, you start to sort of see people year in, year out. It's great. The thing is, America is bad right now, right? We're doing bad things to ourselves and to other countries. And so there were a lot fewer people showing up. I was there for international meetings with folks from, industry groups from other countries. A lot of folks couldn't come or didn't feel safe to come. And I think that's, I get it. So I went into the show, and then there's all the layoffs, and there's all these other things. And I went into the show, the Festival of Gaming, with maybe not the highest, maybe not the best feelings, right? Maybe sort of I don't know what this is. Does this feel okay to go to? The whole thing was messy and sloppy. But when I was there, and everything in the world and everything around it, all is legit. But I will say that when I was there, just talking to people, and this is just a me thing, but just talking to people who are making games, the students making games in the sort of alternative section of GDC, the independent game developers at the mix, the various people working in just different spaces in the industry at talks or hanging out at the park or just seeing people that I've worked with in the past who've moved on to other things and, in life. And it was one of the most invigorating things that I've had in a long time for me. So just like cards on the table for me this year, GDC made me feel like I was ready to run through a wall for this industry, for this stupid, busted industry. It doesn't undo all the bad things. It doesn't make things better, but the people who are in this space, I think, are awesome. And I guess what I would say is we should all unionize, because the people are what make this thing amazing. Not the shareholders, not the crypto billionaires, AI folks coming in from the outside. It is the people. And I don't mean that in a gatekeeping way, just the people who are making video games are doing cool shit. And I think that where possible, we should all have each other's backs, because this industry can be amazing and can support us. There's money. Like the money is there. People are making money on video games. It's just not getting down to the most of the people. So let's do that. I didn't plan to have a talk here, so I apologize if that didn't make any sense. But I got the spindrift in me, and god damn it, I got so enthusiastic and so excited. Anyway, all that being said, GDC is a weird thing, but the games industry, the people that compose the games industry are absolutely awesome. So let's make sure we support each other on that. And we can do that in part by appreciating the art that people have made. So let's, to that end, check out Splatterhouse 2 on the Sega Genesis. Now, did I do this right? I did it mostly right. This is a little bit janky looking over here. Apologies. We're just going to watch a quick video, the beginning of Splatterhouse 2, and then we'll read the manual for Splatterhouse 2. Marty McNinja is in the chat. It's so good to see you. How are you doing? Let's go ahead and watch a minute of the intro. I'm going to turn the music off. And the music, by the way, is from Andrew Elmore. You can go ahead and find Andrew's music over at satellitesound.net. This is Wavebeam. It's good. The music is good. And also, Andrew is not good. Andrew's not good. He's great. So thank you to Andrew Elmore for letting me use the music on the show. Let's watch a little bit about the beginning of Splatterhouse. I don't know why I went with spooky games. All right, it's been 3 months. Is the music not coming through? Hold on. There is desktop audio, but I think I've somehow messed it up. Properties, I'm going in here. Properties, speakers? Let's try this. You got the Genesis warble. Help me. This is what the games industry can feel like. But it doesn't have to die, Rick. This would have scared the shit out of me as a kid. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. All right. The evil mask is saying this, I think. Go back to the house. That's what I tell my kids whenever they've been running around outside and it's bedtime. I say, go back to the house. Different reasons. This music is good. Ew. Okay. Point made. I'm just going to keep watching this. I'm loving this. I'm going to skip forward just a little bit because I think we get the idea. There's the house. Yes. Help me. This is pretty scary stuff. Okay, well, let's get spooked out of our gourds by reading Splatterhouse 2. Now, I said that I was scared. I would have been scared of this when I was a kid. I remember going to The Good Guys in Corte Madera. I don't know if you know The Good Guys. The Good Guys was back 150 years ago an electronics store in your local mall that sold TVs, stereos, video games, and they had Splatterhouse 2 set up on one of the TVs with this box art right underneath it. And I was, I don't know, 8, maybe, something like that. And this scared the hell out of me. I asked my dad if we could leave the store. So here I am confronting my fears in 2026. Andrew Elmore is here. Thank you for coming, Andrew. You were here. I hope that didn't scare you too much. I hope the video wasn't too scary. But we're reading Splatterhouse 2. Here's the instruction manual for Splatterhouse 2. I like this kind of blue thing going on up here. This blue motif. That's not the usual color I associate with Genesis, but I like it. Now, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so y'all can see it. We got some good stuff here. We got the prologue. We get a prologue and we get story. So we're going to get both back to back. This is excerpted from the Journal of Paranormal Phenomena, or JOP, August 1989. Andrew Elmore closed his eyes. That's good, so it's not scary. You know, I do a thing when I'm watching something scary. I don't mind watching it. I have to cover my ears. So I like block my ears. So if we're ever somewhere scary, I'm going to do this. Just heads up. Because it's the sound that's scary, right? It's the audio. In the thick jungles of Cancun, I discovered the site of an ancient Mayan temple. Most unusual was the discovery of a mask quite unlike anything that has been found before. Carved from a bone-like material, it seems to be a representation of a deity. This mask was attached to the wearer's head, should be an apostrophe right there, with interesting straps that were like they've got like little designs on them that were fashioned to look like skeletal hands. That's pretty cool. This is very hot topic coded. Ruins found in the area refer to this relic as the Terror Head, or perhaps a better translation would be the Terror Mask. You could just say that. This is a breakthrough discovery. Excerpted from a letter of Dr. Mueller to a friend. This is from Mueller, she wrote. Great, just a wonderful blue sky follow, I'm sure. Dear Klaus, this mask is incredible. You mentioned reading my piece in Job. However, I couldn't mention in the article the aura of power surrounding this thing. You pick it up and shiver. A primal wave rushes up your spine. When you visit, we'll have to go over it. The lake is lovely this fall, and the fish are biting. See you. It's unnecessarily creepy. This is a creepy letter to get. Very cool. I don't know. I feel like they're writing in code. This is very feels very gross to me. I don't like it at all. Introduction. You've come to dread the night. Don't we all? In the clutches of sleep, the nightmares begin. Always the same. Jennifer screaming in the dark until suddenly she stops. Silence. Then the infernal whispering of the mask begins again. I'm going to try. Rick, we can save her. You know we can. Remember the power? Remember how much you liked it? The house, Rick. Jennifer's waiting, and I'm waiting for you. That's the whispering, I think. Awake in a sweat with your heart racing. You can almost remember the last time. Locked into the mask, body surging with feral rage and an insatiable hunger. This is about being a teenager. The cold steel pipe in your hand slick with gore. Not that part. Under the mask, you were smiling. You know you have to go to save Jennifer. Or so you say. Bum, 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 bum. So that's the kind of horror show that we can come to expect from this video game, Splatterhouse 2. It is cool that the game is called Splatterhouse 2. I do appreciate that. There we go. And so there we go. We got options. We got password, but we don't care about any of that. We got dastardly data. Monstrous moves, which I like. With the mask, Rick's more than an average dude. Endowed with eerie powers. The Rickster is bad and buffed. Check out these moves. I'm always saying that about the Rickster. Hello, Psychog. How are you doing there? We got it. What's going on? Splatterhouse. That's right. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. Have you been drinking your Spindrift today? That was pretty quick. I like that. So that was good. I got an auto mod. Hold on. Held a message for reason. Somebody popped in to tell me about cheap viewers over at streamboospace.com. Remove the space. I'm gonna deny this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, local amphitheater. You're done. Here we go. Let me deny that. All right, here we go. But we can talk. What I'm not going to deny is how bad and buffed the Rickster is when he checks out these moves. You got pickup weapons. You got a slide kick, which takes practice. You got punch. You got low kick, and you got jump kick. I feel like he's got more moves this time than he did last time. Handy household weapons. From the Journal of Dr. Mueller. Again, he had a previous life before his work in the government. I have begun to notice strange things in the woods. I have become uneasy. Today I cataloged all of the potential weapons in the house. Not very impressive, I'm afraid. At times like this, I wish I had shown a keener interest in hunting. Well, here we go. You got a pipe, which is left over from remodeling. It could make a handy bludgeon. I'm already a big fan of this manual because they don't need to be giving us the flavor about where the pipe is from. It's a pipe, but I really like that they did. Bone, a gift from a paleontologist friend. This fossilized leg bone is a hard hitter. Chainsaw, I suppose this can cut more than firewood. A shotgun, I managed to find 8 shells. I hope that will be enough. It won't be. You got a potassium bomb. I have a small quantity of potassium placed in glass vials. When broken, they will explode and burn. You got Dr. Mueller's Guide to Beasts. From the Journal of Dr. Mueller, I had mentioned in earlier entries of seeing strange things in the woods. These things are monsters. You could have just said that. I can't believe my luck. This is a tremendous chance to capture and study these creatures. I have made notes based on my observations. I don't understand how the mask fits into all this, but I'm sure there's a connection. You got a zombie. These shambling creatures literally drool rotting flesh. Indeed. They are as pleasant to smell as they are to see. You got Screamin' Mimi. Fascinating creature. There seems to be several types leaping about the woods. They all emit a piercing scream. Jack and I have set several traps to attempt to capture one for closer study. And then we've got the Ghoul. I saw one of these creatures in the old sewer. It appeared to be related to the zombie creature, but without the red ooze. Yet, it retained the pleasant feature of drooling ropes of rotting flesh. I like this guy. Listen, Dr. Mueller's a strange guy, but, who are we to judge? Who are we to judge? Handling the Sega Genesis cartridge. I like this right here. Warning to owners of projection televisions. If you play it on there, this guy's coming out after you. So be careful. This is cool art. I will say I think this is some pretty cool looking design over here. I like the way his clothes look all messed up. It's very cool. So that's the manual for Splatterhouse. If you have any questions, well, actually you can't. There's nothing here that tells you how to connect with Namco. So if you have any questions about Splatterhouse, if anything comes up with your game, you're kind of out of luck. Yeah, sorry, the ooze is green. We know that from the other Sega Genesis game. So now we're done with the Sega Genesis. How's everybody doing? I'm going to take a sip of my tropical lemonade to keep the scurvy at bay. So I'm going to China this next week. I'm very excited about that. So I've got to keep the scurvy at bay for my long flight. And I can't take these on the flight because of the security theater that we have to go through at every airport. But I am going to remember my spindrifts when I'm out there. And hope to come back and keep the diseases at bay with a scurvy when I return. But in the meantime, let's check out Super C for the Nintendo. I found a commercial for it, which I thought was cool, and it stars a guy who looks pretty darn cool to me. Let me turn off the music. Sorry, Andrew's music. Here we go. You're right. We'll never be done with the Sega Genesis. We're done with it for today, for this moment.
It is I, Red Falcon, the vile alien warlord from Konami Super C for Nintendo. He never made it past my intergalactic goon squad and diabolic arsenal of destruction. This one never had a chance against my vicious genetic space freaks. And they were no match for my invincible 8th-level invasion. See how far you can get in Super C. You never know where you might end up.
I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Well, there you go. Congrats to... Whoa. Unfocused all colors circle. 4K relaxing screensaver. I thought we closed it out, but I guess we didn't. The music is quiet on my end, but this is great. Should we just watch this for a couple hours? This is kind of nice. 4K relaxing screensaver. Thanks so much. But you know what? Let's do. I have a relaxing screensaver right here. Super C. The character that they just showed us is a psychopath. He was kidnapping children, keeping them alive as trophies. He's a scary guy. I also miss commercials like this. I thought that was a cool commercial. So Super C already off to a great start. How to play it. I don't think this is a very long manual, but I just like Konami manuals, so I figured, what the heck, why not? Here's a bunch of stuff that you need to know. We are warranted, the original purchaser of the Konami software product, that the medium on which this computer program is recorded is free of defects in materials and workmanship for a period of 90 days from the date of purchase. That's why it gets the Nintendo seal of quality. And I meant to do, sorry, speaking of seals of quality, that ad gets the official seal of quality. All right. Just so you know, some states do not allow limitations as to how long an implied warranty lasts, and or exclusions of limitations or incidental or consequential damages to the above limitations, and or exclusions of liability may not apply to you. This warranty gives you specific rights, and you may also have other rights which vary from state to state. Good to know. Probably not anymore. Congratulations, you now own the authentic Konami home version of Super C for the Nintendo Entertainment System. We suggest you read this instruction manual thoroughly before battling through Red Falcon's multiple levels of mass destruction. Every Konami manual starts with that. Most manuals from the Nintendo era seem to begin with some sort of like, thanks for buying our game. We're Jalico. We appreciate your business. This is like, Konami always gives you a little bit of flavor there at the beginning, which is pretty cool. I don't know when the Probotectors come into play. When you say where do the Probotectors come into play, do you mean like where do they show up in the story here, or like when are they coming to hang out? When are the Probotectors coming to play on the stream? We should get some. If anybody knows any Probotectors who want to be on the show, I would be more than happy to invite them on to read the European manuals to their games. Don't fire until you see the red of their eyes. I'm gonna zoom in. This is a lot of text. Sipping cold lemonade. Huh. Aren't we all? Sipping cold lemonade with a couple of native lovelies, Mad Dog and Scorpion, guerrilla warriors extraordinaire, relax on a Rio beach and boast of how they destroyed the vile alien warmonger Red Falcon. Little do they know that Red Falcon didn't flee with his pointed tail between his legs. Instead, he tactically retreated to round up ruffians of the universe, friends from all walks of war, to mount a second assault on planet Earth. One of these new recruits is Jagger Freud. That's great. Jagger Froid? Froid? He's cold. He's cold. Froid. A demented alien from the black hole galaxy who dishes out punishment with a laser-sharp tongue. Red Falcon has also shuttled in the Babaloo Destructoid Mechanism. God, classic Babaloo Destructoid Mechanism. A giant alien attack tank, which was the primary weapon used to disintegrate the innocent solar system of Tralala. There's so much happening. There's so much happening right now, folks. Whew. But the genius behind Red Falcon's Earth-conquering concept is his plan to have thousands of intergalactic warriors seep into the brains of the U.S. Army. Yeah, I mean, ripped from the headlines. It's a mind contamination trick. They got the woke mind virus, folks. It's a mind contamination trick which has already taken command of U.S. forces at Fort Firestorm. Could help by not calling places things like Fort Firestorm. There we go. All right. Pete Hegseth was already in charge when this manual was written. How do we know that our soldiers have been brain trashed? You can see it in their eyes. Now, if Mad Dog and Scorpion fail to recuperate from their months on the beach in time to destroy Red Falcon's GI-fortified hate nest, his sinister scheme will permeate the world's mightiest power, nuclear missile silos included. I'm feeling very uncomfortable in real life right now. And if that happens, we'll all be pushing up daisies. Oh my God. How to fight for your life and everyone else's. fire, 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 and don't stop firing are the only instructions you need. Because in this doomsday extravaganza, there's little time for thinking. A killer instinct is all that matters, and if your finger trigger lacks stamina, Earth will lack a future. To begin this all-out mega war, press the start button. Next, press the select button to choose a 1 commando or 2 commando contest. If 1 commando plays, you'll assume the savage role of Mad Dog with controller number 1. If a 2nd commando plays, he or she, yes, Jesus Christ, yes, this is the 90s and women make just as tough commandos as guys. All right. Will take charge of Scorpion with controller number 2. A lot of flavor in this manual. Finally, press the start button again, and it's off to meet Red Falcon, or your maker. Say what you will. They put a lot into these manuals. At the beginning of your assault on Fort Firestorm, your only hide protection weapon is a rifle. But if you blast away bouncing power-up capsules and stationary pillbox sensors, they'll turn into hawks. Capture these that's how it works in real life. Capture these hawks by moving your commando onto them, and your odds of survival will improve a little. Each underscored is good. Each hawk is labeled by a letter referring to the super weapon you'll receive. The power-up capsule is a football. Pillbox sensor is right there. Here's your super weapons for when you're playing as Corporal Lance, codename Scorpion, and Sergeant Bill Coe, Mad Dog. Machine gun gives you rat-tat-tat-tat capabilities. Spread gun sprays fire in 5 directions. The laser increases your destructive power. The flamethrower, when it hits an enemy, its flame will ignite. Rapid fire gives you more bang for the buck. The barrier makes you invincible for a period of time. And Mega Shell, it destroys all enemies on the screen. This weapon has no identifying letter. So you got some cool songs you can listen to. You got some controller stuff over here. This is a game that includes the select button, which we love to see. How to use the control pad and in sync with the A and B buttons. Control pad, this is cool. Up, you won't move. Up this way, move right. This is helpful. I like this. Red Falcon's mass destruction zones. You got gates of Fort Fire. Fort Fire's Storm Warped Mind Command Center. It's strange that they would have built that. But the U.S. government would have built that, but I guess. The Tropics of Torture, sure. Lair of the Jungle Aliens. Massacre Mountains. Jagger Freud's Fruit of the Doom Defense Line. Radioactive Lava Fields. And Red Falcon's Poison Palace. Jagger Freud's Fruit of the Doom Defense Line, folks. Right after Massacre Mountains, Jagger Freud's Fruit of the Doom Defense Line. Killer Aliens. Alien in Sergeant Skin's Clothing, level 1. Can't trust this guy. Babaloo Destructoid Mechanism, level 3. Watch out for Babaloo. I heard those toys are going for a lot of money on the black market right now. It's a Labubu joke. Are people still doing Labubus? I don't know. Crypto Crustacean. All right, that guy works at Coinbase, so he's got to go. Liposuction. The Temple of Terror, of course. Jagger Freud's Spit Soldier. I don't know, man. I don't know about Jagger Freud's Spit Soldier. He looks NSFW. Does his manual go back up? So there you go. So that's Jagger Freud's Spit Soldier. And then there's Red Falcon. Good God. There you go. So not a big manual, but I did want to read it because I love a Konami. And where would we be without Jagger Freud's Fruit of the Doom Defense Line? Just a few levels after fighting the Babaloo Destructoid Mechanism. Liposuction. Jagger Freud's Spit Soldier. It's gross. I love it. It's gross, but I love it. So that's that. So let's move on to something a little less hellacious, but equally spooky. Kid Dracula. So Kid Dracula, we'll watch a commercial for the Famicom version because there was no, to my knowledge, Game Boy commercial. And the Nintendo version, the Famicom version, never came out here in America. So we were left in America with just the Game Boy version. So we'll watch the commercial for the Famicom game in 1990 and maybe a minute or two of gameplay of the Game Boy version. And then we will shiver in our boots watching the spooktacular Game Boy game Kid Dracula. God, that was cool. I like that. All right. I really want to go. I want to go back in time to see that ad on TV for real. I love that. Okay, so here's Kid Dracula on the Game Boy. We'll watch for just a few minutes or a minute. We'll see how this goes. Thank you to the Select Gaming for letting me use this on my show. I think that's going to be Dracula. Okay. That had everything. So let's see what the game looks like. Man, the Game Boy could make some good sprites. Oh my god, I would have loved this game as a kid. This is great. This is giving me real Tiny Toons on Game Boy vibes. Just the way it moves, the way the sprites look. Fun. Jump, get it. You can get it. Oh. He can become a bat. Okay. Well, there you go. So that's what the game looks like. Should we read the manual? Kid Dracula. We're going to zoom in. That's what we're going to do here. Let me get away from this. I really screwed up the visuals here, but that's okay. We'll make this work. Let me do this. I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger. Hold on. All right. Yes, this will be a cool game. Okay. So Kid Dracula, we're going to zoom in. It's going to be a little bit ugly. So, but you know, it's not going to be ugly. The contents of this manual. Kid Dracula. Da-da-da. Konami, limited warranty. Congratulations. Welcome to the immortal kingdom of Kid Dracula. An 8-level quest that will drive you totally batty. I feel like this was probably written by the same person as Super C. Before getting lost in the dark, be sure to read this Vampire Handbook, your guide to the great beyond of Game Boy. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay. Children of the Night, your leader has come. He's a really good dude at heart. I like that. Good. I'm happy to see it. Move this just a little bit over. Okay. And his name is Kid Dracula, not to be confused with his old man, the Count, or any of those pasty-faced phonies you see flaunting their fake fangs in the flicks. This is the coolest... Shots fired. Bella Lugosi taking strays in a Game Boy manual. This is the coolest little terror to come out of Transylvania since the Teenage Werewolf. But don't get a big head to go along with your big hair, just because just showing those pearly whites won't scare away the evil of Garamoth, a tyrannical lizard king who transported himself from the year 2 billion BC just to terrorize Kid Drac's weird, wild, and wonderfully wacky kingdom. No way, Castle Boy. So they're playing a little fast. They're taking some artistic license with natural history. But that's fine. That's fine. To save the night, you must become Kid Dracula and sink your teeth into 8 of the craziest Game Boy levels ever. You must also venture into 5 different subgames where extra players can be won. Along the way, you'll encounter and hopefully eradicate a host of horrors, including Frankenpunk, Transfusion, and the greatest pea-brain predator of them all, Garamoth. We could use Kid Dracula to take care of some of our pea-brain predators these days. That's our Spindrift current events commentary of the week. Transfusion. I could also do with less transfusion. It's not my style. I'm more of a indie folk rock kind of guy. Survive in the cold, drafty concrete crypt you call home will be back in black. Fail, and you'll be seeing red for the rest of your life, which in eternal vampire years is pretty much forever. Zoinks! Talk about a fantastic adventure. Okay. The bats are in the belfry. My God. There's a lot at stake when you begin. I was born way too late. This is the job I wish I had as a kid. If I when I briefly worked at a game publisher that did an Intellivision collection, and I had to write some text for all the different games that were in it, and one of them was about outer space. And I wrote, and I don't think it made it into the final manual, I suggested we write Space, the Final Frontier, because it's fun to play video games in outer space. But I could have gotten away with it if I worked at Konami. There's a lot at stake when you begin, which is scary because Kid Dracula is a good guy, but the stake could kill him. Insert the game pack into your Game Boy and turn the power on of Kid Dracula. Turn on the power of Kid Dracula. Gets your blood boiling just to think about it, eh? Press the start button twice to advance to the start and password screen. Not to be redundant, but you will want to begin at the beginning. Press start again. If you ever want to, if you want to enter your password from a previous game, so you can return to the level where you at when you last bit it, press the control pad down and press start. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more because I realize it's probably hard to see. The adventure begins with the appearance of the cross-eyed creep, your ghoulish assistant, who will provide you with clues throughout the game. To advance the dialogue, press the A button. To go directly to the action, press the start button. You have 3 lives to begin with. Each life is measured by a 3-hearted lifeline. You can collect hearts throughout your journey to increase your lifeline up to 5 hearts. Once they're gone, you're a goner. Once your 3 lives are history, so are you. Fortunately, you have unlimited continues and a password feature to save your game. If you select your password, be sure to write it down. So there you go. Let's see. Let's go to the next page. Password control. Oh my God. This is very difficult. Password controls to enter your password. A visitor's guide to Drax Crypt. Sweet Crypt. Sure. You've got your current power over there, your number of remaining lives. Here's your stuff. Select button. This one also exists. This is very exciting. Press to switch to a different magic power. Remember, you'll get a few of those. There you go. Secrets that can't be kept. To survive, again, not that Dracula ever really dies, you must capture hearts to extend your life. In all, these hints will improve your chances of destroying that big goon Garamoth. What to look for? You got a crimson coin, sub-game investment, which is a good way of putting it. Small heart, you got a big heart in a box. Isn't that a Nirvana song? It was about this. Your guiding hand in the sub-games. Whatever happened to cartoons and video game characters wearing gloves like this? This is like a big thing. Everybody had a weird glove. I don't know what happened. The powers that you be, that's good. These are the 7 magical powers you control. At the beginning of the game, you'll only have 2 of them, the Bat Transformation and the Biting Bullet, Dracula's famous Biting Bullet. But after you overcome different levels, the Cross-Eyed Creep will award you with another power. You can Bat Transformation and Biting Bullet, or the Bat Attack, which is kind of cool. Looks like it throws it back at you. Patriot Bats will zero in on enemies and then whap them with their wings. I love to whap. I love when my Patriot Bats whap enemies with their wings. After destroying the enemy, these bad bats will return to your cape. Wing and homing missiles. These nasty homing missiles will destroy any enemy that they can find. You got a giant bad bomb. Nothing can withstand this menace, not even walls. Hang in with the Bat Boys maneuver. Allows you to stick to ceilings. You can cancel this power by pressing the select button or letting time expire. And Umbrella Lugosi. So, the manual giveth and they taketh away to Bela Lugosi. First by saying that anybody who acted as Dracula in a film was a phony, but then now giving him an umbrella of his very own. So congrats to Bela Lugosi, Umbrella Lugosi. I hope they have a gross guy in here and they call him Bella Lugosi. After being awarded this power, you can use it, whatever, who cares. You'll never fear getting wet behind your pointy ears again. To close the Umbrella Lugosi, they're very proud of this one, press the B button. Note, you cannot attack when defending yourself with this item. A crazy 8 levels you'll never forget. Kid Drax Castle Home. Clear this stage and you'll be able to use the Bat Attack. The Forest of Fools. Attack of the Thunder Clouds. The Ghost Pirate Ship. This is where you get Umbrella Lugosi. The Far Out World of Garamoth. Okay, so Garamoth's fangs are bigger than yours, but that doesn't mean you can't kick his tail. The Monster Volcano. Watch out for ricochet rocks. The Dark Cave. Falling ceilings and rising floors will really trip you up here. And the Robotics Factory Zone. Riveting robo bullets. Will keep your attention throughout this level. Then we've got some subterranean crypt games. After completing the stage, you can choose to play a sub game, which is great. 2 kinds of sub games. You know what should happen is the people who make Yakuza should make a Kid Dracula game with lots of little sub games and mini games in it. Let's explore Kid Dracula's Transylvania the way that we get to explore Kiryu's Tokyo. Transylvanian version of Rock, Paper, Scissors. So here we go. We've got Bat Snatch Challenge, Magical Skull and Romanian Battle Sword Sweepstakes, Transylvanian versions of Rock, Paper, Scissors, Poppin' Ghost Loons with your Fang Stick Fandango. There's a lot of words there. Crimson Coin Collection Game. And there you go. Let's check out some bad guys, enemies that will make any Kid Drac yak. You got Garamoth the Magnificent, Witchy Wench, apologies, Percy Pinchaloaf, Percy Pinchaloaf, great, Frankenpunk, Shades the Kid-Eating Plant, The Ghosts of Halloween, past, present, and future, The Spirit of the Last Fried Chicken You Ate, Phyllis Driller, Rod Lightning, The Trout That Wouldn't Die, Mr. Picky Picky, Transfusion, Metal the Heavy, The Illegal Alien from Planet X. He's a cutie. Tag yourself. I'm Shades the Kid-Eating Plant. I can't be Percy Pinchalope. I'm sorry. We're not gonna do this. I am Duke Donuts have been popping Ghost Loons all morning. Totally zooted. That's right. Yes. Hopefully you don't meet any of these guys. Hopefully you don't meet Percy Pinchalope. So there you go. Write some notes. I guess presumably this section right here with the notes is where you can write down your favorite character. Phyllis Driller. I will say I think the highlight of this one for me is Umbrella Lugosi. So congrats to Umbrella Lugosi. You have won this week's Spindrift Seal of Quality. Driller, hardly know her. That's right. I mean, that's right. So there we go. Phyllis Driller, the trout that wouldn't die. I really like the ones where they've got like a clear idea of what they want to do with it, and then sometimes they're just like, I don't know, Shades the Kid-Eating Plant. I really like this. This manual has a lot going on, and that was Kid Dracula. And this has been, what's the name of my show? Instruction Derby. That's the show. That's the name of the show. I forgot it for a second. It's Wednesday. Time to go. Show's over. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I will not be around next week. I'm going to be in a totally different country, and but I'll be back the week after. So thank you for coming today. It was good to see you. I hope that everyone's not too scared from the manuals that we read today, but I understand if you need to take the rest of the day or week off from work because it was too scary, it's fine. I think that's fine. Just do it. It's fine. Goodbye. And grab yourself a Spindrift, the official sponsor of our show and every show on the Soundstone Network. Wait. Goodbye. Goodbye. Wait, I gotta click the right button. Okay, goodbye. All right, I did it. I gotta hit the mute button, right? Okay. Muting. Goodbye.